The year 2025 marks a pivotal moment for U.S. immigration policy. Two radically different visions are clashing in Washington: H.R. 1, an enforcement-first law, and the Bipartisan Dignity Act. H.R. 1 doubles down on border security, making unauthorized entry riskier and more difficult. Meanwhile, the Dignity Act proposes a path to legal status for undocumented immigrants, blending security with integration. These competing bills frame the central question: should America focus on exclusion or reform? H.R. 1 has already led to more raids and a stronger immigration agent presence. The Dignity Act, though uncertain, offers hope to millions living in fear of deportation. The outcome will define U.S. immigration for a generation and shape the nation's identity. Businesses, schools, and communities are watching closely, knowing the stakes are real and immediate. As the nation stands at this crossroads, the choice will have a profound and lasting impact. At the heart of the new enforcement push is the 287G program, a controversial initiative that has reshaped the relationship between local police and federal immigration authorities. Originally created in 1996, the 287G program now allows ICE to deputize local police as immigration agents, giving them new powers and responsibilities within their own communities. After undergoing specialized ICE training, local officers can question people about their immigration status, issue detainers, and even begin removal proceedings, tasks once reserved for federal agents. This expansion, fueled by new laws and executive orders, has led to over 1,000 agreements in 40 states, making the program a widespread tool in the national immigration strategy. Supporters argue that it multiplies enforcement power, boosts security, and helps remove dangerous criminals from the streets, making neighborhoods safer for everyone. But critics warn it erodes trust between police and immigrant communities, making people less likely to report crimes, seek help, or cooperate with investigations out of fear of deportation. Concerns about racial profiling persist, as officers may target people based on appearance, language, or accent, raising questions about fairness and civil rights. Despite ongoing controversy and legal challenges, 287G has become a central pillar of immigration enforcement, blurring the line between local policing and federal control in ways never seen before. The program's rapid growth signals a strong commitment to a multi-layered enforcement strategy, with local and federal agencies working hand in hand. For many communities, this means that even routine encounters with police, like traffic stops or neighborhood patrols, can have life-altering consequences, spreading fear and uncertainty. The debate over 287G reflects the broader national divide on immigration, highlighting deep disagreements about security, civil rights, and the role of local law enforcement in federal policy. On July 4, 2025, H.R. 1, dubbed the One Big Beautiful Bill, became law. Passed via budget reconciliation, it funneled $170.7 billion into immigration enforcement. The law's core make unauthorized entry and presence in the U.S. much harder. Funds go to border walls, new detention centers, and thousands of new federal agents. H.R. 1 also expands state and local police partnerships with ICE, extending enforcement far beyond the border. Agencies like ICE and CBP now have broad discretion with limited oversight. Supporters call it a long-promised fix for border security and the rule of law. Critics see it as costly, inhumane, and criminalizing migration. The bill has drawn a sharp line in the national debate, defining one side of the immigration battle. Its passage marks a new era of enforcement-first policy. H.R. 1's details reveal a relentless focus on enforcement infrastructure. $46.6 billion is set aside for a southern border wall, aiming for a near impenetrable barrier. $45 billion funds new detention centers, expanding capacity and benefiting private prison companies. Critics argue this incentivizes keeping detention beds full, shifting away from alternatives like ankle monitors. The bill also hires thousands of new ICE and Border Patrol agents to increase raids and deportations. Steep new fees on immigration applications make legal pathways harder for low-income immigrants. H.R. 1 strengthens federal-local law enforcement ties, incentivizing police to join immigration enforcement. This creates a force multiplier, extending federal reach into communities nationwide. The combined effect: more walls, more detention, more agents, and higher barriers to legal status. The system is designed to leave little room for unauthorized immigrants to live or work in the U.S. The cost is high, financially and socially. H.R. 1's impact goes far beyond just budgets and numbers. It fundamentally reshapes the lives of immigrants and the very structure of the legal system that serves them. This legislation introduces sweeping changes that ripple through families, communities, and courtrooms across the country. By capping the number of new immigration judges, H.R. 1 worsens an already staggering backlog, now exceeding 2 million cases. This means even longer waits for those seeking justice or safety, and more pressure on an already overwhelmed court system. Immigrants and their families now face years in painful limbo, with decisions about their futures delayed indefinitely. These delays often result in prolonged family separations, missed milestones, and growing uncertainty about what comes next. Asylum seekers and families endure immense suffering, while mounting delays undermine the very idea of due process. The promise of a fair hearing becomes more distant with every passing month. The law also rolls back crucial protections for migrant children, allowing for longer detentions in facilities with less oversight and fewer safeguards. This exposes vulnerable children to even greater risks. Child welfare experts warn that these changes will lead to increased trauma, emotional distress, and neglect among children who are already at risk. Critics argue that H.R. 1 prioritizes strict enforcement over compassion and humanity, pushing more people into the shadows and making it harder for them to seek help or protection. By making legal pathways more expensive and courts even more overwhelmed, the system becomes less accessible, less fair, and far less humane for those who need it most. The relentless focus on enforcement comes at a high human cost, leaving families fractured and communities in distress. Despite these harsh measures, H.R. 1 offers no real solutions to the root causes of migration, such as violence, poverty, and instability in home countries. Instead, it shifts the burden and consequences onto immigrants and their families, making their journeys even more difficult and uncertain. The result is a system designed for exclusion, not resolution, one that closes doors rather than opening pathways to hope and justice. In contrast to H.R. 1, the Dignity Act of 2025 offers a rare bipartisan compromise. Led by Congresswomen Salazar and Escobar, it blends border security with a path to legal status for undocumented immigrants. The bill rejects amnesty, instead requiring applicants to pass background checks, pay back taxes, and contribute to society. Its funding model is self-sustaining. Immigrants pay fees and restitution, not taxpayers. This approach has won support from business, agriculture, and faith groups. The Dignity Act aims to bring millions out of the shadows, allowing them to work and live without fear. Supporters argue mass deportation is unrealistic and inhumane. The bill's structured path to legal status is tough but fair, restoring order to the system. It's a pragmatic answer to a complex problem, seeking to balance security and compassion. The Dignity Act represents a belief in earned integration, not exclusion. The Dignity Act is a bold new proposal that aims to reshape how the United States handles undocumented immigrants. At its core, the Act introduces a carefully structured two-step program designed to address the realities faced by millions living in the country without legal status. Step 1 is called the Dignity Program. This is a 7-year probationary period for undocumented immigrants who have lived in the U.S. for at least 5 years and have no record of serious crimes. It's a chance for families who have built lives here to come out of the shadows and participate openly in society. To qualify, applicants must pass thorough background checks, pay restitution for any past immigration violations, and maintain steady employment. This process ensures that only those committed to following the law and contributing to their communities can move forward. In return, they receive temporary legal status. This status protects them from deportation and allows them to work legally, but it does not grant permanent residency or access to federal benefits. It's a significant step, but not the final one. After 7 years, participants can choose to renew their dignity status indefinitely, or they can take the next step by entering the Redemption Program, which offers a path to permanent residency. The Redemption Program is a rigorous 5-year process that requires learning English, passing a civics test, and continuing to contribute positively to society. It's designed to ensure that those who earn a green card are fully prepared to participate in American life. Altogether, the journey from undocumented status to permanent residency takes 12 years. This long-term process ensures that only the most dedicated and committed individuals succeed, rewarding perseverance and responsibility. Beyond individual pathways, the bill also invests heavily in border security technology and resources to clear visa backlogs, aiming to make the entire immigration system more efficient and secure. By addressing border security, the undocumented population, and legal immigration channels all at once, the Dignity Act seeks to deliver truly comprehensive reform, balancing enforcement with opportunity. It's a tough, earned path. There are no shortcuts or easy fixes. Every step is designed to be fair but demanding. For millions of people, this act could mean real stability, the ability to contribute openly, and the hope of a secure future for their families and communities. The Dignity Act structure is its political compromise, rigorous but possible. It's a plan that tries to bridge divides and offer a realistic solution. Ultimately, it's a blueprint for integration, not exclusion, an invitation for those willing to work for a place in America's future. The 2025 debate boils down to two philosophies. H.R. 1 embodies enforcement and exclusion, higher walls, more agents, and mass deportation. This approach sees unauthorized immigrants as threats, prioritizing control above all else. Proponents argue strict enforcement is the only way to restore order. The Dignity Act, by contrast, is about pragmatic integration. It recognizes millions are already part of American life and seeks to bring them into a regulated system. Supporters say enforcement alone has failed. Real reform must address those already here. The choice is stark exclusion or earned inclusion. Each vision offers a fundamentally different answer to America's immigration challenge. The nation's future depends on which path it chooses. September 2025. America faces a defining choice. H.R. 1 has set the country on a path of aggressive enforcement, with billions spent on walls and detention. This future promises security through exclusion, but at a steep human and financial cost. The Dignity Act offers an alternative, modernized border security and a path for undocumented immigrants to earn legal status. This vision seeks to restore order by integrating people into a legal system. The debate is about more than policy. It's about the nation's soul. Will America build higher walls or longer tables? The decision will shape the economy, public safety, and the American dream itself. The struggle between these visions will define millions of lives. The future of American immigration hangs in the balance.